Hi, I'm Cathy Neptune and welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to help you in the kitchen with tips and tools and recipes to make your time fun, fast, and fabulous. And we're still celebrating summer and we're going to do a summer Cobb salad with a special feature that is going to be a surprise. I think you'll love it. It's typical New England. See if you can figure out what it is before we get there. So I'm going to start by making a dressing to go on top of the salad. And you can certainly use your own bottle dressing, but so many of you have asked about what's my favorite go-to recipe for a homemade salad dressing. And I just think you can't go wrong with a good vinegar. I'm using a rice wine vinegar. But anything you do, apple cider is always good. It gives a nice fruity flavor to it. And it's about 2 parts vinegar to about 1 part vinegar to about 2 parts of olive oil, good olive oil. And I'm doing a little Dijon mustard, probably a scant teaspoon. And then we're going to add a little bit of sugar because that takes the tartness out of the dressing, probably equal amounts of mustard, the Dijon mustard, and another scant teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to take a shallot because it's a sweeter onion. So I'm going to slice this up into small pieces, peel it. I love shallots because they're a little bit sweeter and lighter than a regular onion. So we're going to chop that up into small pieces. And this is a very tiny one, but we're making a small amount of dressing, and I'll show you why we're not using a lot of dressing tonight for this salad. Because I made some ahead of time, I like to let it set and let the flavors combine. So I made some dressing ahead of time, but I wanted to show you how to do this. You can also use fresh herbs if you have them, or dried herbs are fine too. And again, that's one of the reasons why I let the dressing set a while, is to let the dried herbs come to full flavor in the dressing. So just mince this finely. 1 shallot. That goes in. You can see the ratio here. It's just a little bit of vinegar. And then the garlic, fresh garlic, of course, is always good. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit, not use the whole thing of garlic. And thank you to everybody who writes in for information about some of these tools. I love this garlic press. This is about the size of the fresh garlic. But I love this because you can use the garlic in there without peeling it. So it comes out like that, and then the peel stays behind. So many of you have written in and asked about the resources for these tools. And then we have the peel in there, and then you just discard it. So far so good on this. We're going to add a little bit of salt, just a little pinch of that. And then I have my favorite herbs. This is a Tuscan blend, but you can use oregano, a little fresh garlic, a little fresh oregano, whatever your favorite seasoning is. And I love these herb blends. This is a Tuscan blend. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of olive oil and a whisk and just blend it up in there. And it's going to emulsify and thicken up. Oh, this smells so good. We have Karen and Louisa in our audience tonight. Thanks for coming, ladies. Are you hungry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you can see how this thickens up. Makes a nice vinaigrette. You know, that makes a great marinade too for chicken or seafood. I love to do scallops in this. It adds a lot. So we're going to set that aside. And then I've done it ahead of time in my little shaker jar, or it's great to use a mason jar if you have it with a lid and you don't even need a whisk. You just put everything in there. It's great for picnics too because you can take it with you and leave it in the refrigerator. Always keep this refrigerated after you make it so it doesn't spoil. So that is our dressing. And then the salad portion of our Cobb salad. I like to use a sturdy romaine lettuce because it seems to hold up well. And you can assemble all the components to this ahead of time and keep them separated and refrigerated. And then at the last minute, you can assemble it and keep it fresher that way. Because some of these components, you don't want the lettuce to wilt at the bottom. And that's why I love the romaine, because it's a little sturdier than most of your salads. So we're going to put that in the bottom like so. And maybe I'll add a little bit more. I have one more that we can put in. Excuse my back. And this is a great recipe for the summer because we're not even turning on the oven. I've done most of all the components ahead of time. So all you have to do is assemble whatever you pre-cooked. And more about that as we go along. So I want the bowl relatively full of nice leafy greens. And does anybody have a favorite lettuce that you would use instead of this?
I typically use that.
Yeah,
lettuce.
You like the romaine?
Yeah, I do like the romaine.
Yeah, how about you,
For
Louisa?
the same reason, it's nice and
Yeah.
hearty and easy to work with and doesn't wilt as much.
Yeah, and that's important in the summer, right? If you're going to put this on a picnic or a buffet, nice to have. What about you, Louisa? Would you do a spinach with that maybe?
I would prefer spinach
Yeah.
over the lettuce or spinach mix and kale mix together.
Yes,
I like the kale.
I thought about the kale too because I do eat kale as well, and that is a good, healthy
Yeah,
choice.
good
kale.
idea. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Good
Excellent.
job. Now I'm going to take this and dress it because we're assembling our salad. So a very light dressing on the bottom. And then I'm going to give it a light toss just to mix it up. And that's the base. So we're going to set that aside over here. And I'm going here, and let me get this here corn that we've done ahead. And what else do we have? Some potato salad. And this is our corn. And it's fresh. And while it was still warm, I cooked it fresh off the cob. I added a little bit of butter. And then we're going to take a little bit of lime juice from here. And I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lime on there, just enough to bring out the freshness of the corn. I think corn and lime just go really, really good together. So we'll set that there. And it already has a little bit of butter inside. So you can see it just glistens, and it's going to make a nice presentation. So this you could certainly do ahead of time, the night before. And the corn is so nice and fresh this time of year. I would certainly do that. Then we're going to take our potato salad, and I did this with the same dressing. And here's a little suggestion. When you do your potatoes, I use the small red Bliss potatoes, and you want to put them in a pot of water. You cut them up so they're all the same size. And did you know you don't ever put your potatoes in hot boiling water? You always start your potatoes in cold water and bring it to a boil with the potatoes in there so that they cook evenly. If you do it the other way, the outside cooks and the center of the potato will stay raw. So it's a good tip. If you've ever had potatoes that taste raw in the middle and you know you've cooked them, try starting them in cold water. And you don't want them to get too mushy. So you don't cook them as long as you would, say, for a mashed potato. And then another tip, you season the water, of course, with salt. And when you drain your potatoes, that's when you add the dressing while they're still hot. And that absorbs the dressing more evenly, and you don't get pockets of potato that have no flavor. So that's a great tip. Even if you're doing a mayonnaise based, this doesn't have a mayonnaise base because we kept it kind of light. And especially when you do that, you'll find that the potatoes are all consistently cooked and flavored. So that's important when you're doing a cold salad such as this. And then I thought for color, we would add some chives into the top of the potato salad. And we're just slicing them randomly. And then, what else do I have over here? I have some parsley from my garden. I love having an herb garden because herbs are really weeds. And you can't really kill them. I've tried, but they survived pretty good. You got to be pretty sturdy. I had artificial flowers and those even died. Wasn't good. But the herbs have a little bit more of a chance, I think. So I like, again, for color, I'm going to do the nice fresh, and I like the flat leaf parsley. I think it has a little more flavor to it. So I'm going to put that over the top. And of course, we measured all this very carefully. There's 627 pieces of chives in here and 82 pieces of parsley. Inquiring minds want to know. So we're just going to toss this. Now this looks pretty good so far. And we'll put that there. And then another part of this is almost healthy because we've got a lot of green things going on. So this is pretty good. I've sliced some fresh green beans. And I'm going to season them and put them in the microwave and kind of steam them a little bit. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to this and put them in the microwave for about 4 minutes, and they're going to steam. And then we'll be ready to assemble. And what's nice about this is you're not overcooking your vegetables. You want them to have a nice green color and a nice crispy texture. So let's start at 4 minutes and see what happens. So we've got our potatoes and corn, and I'm going to start putting this together. I'm going to start on the side, and we're going to put stripes of all different toppings. So we're going to do about half on the end here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a composed, would this be a decomposed or a composed salad? I don't know. We'll see. And you can see how easy this would be to assemble all the different parts. And you can get very creative with different types of veggies that you might have in your garden. You could do a BLT one, which would be very nice with tomatoes and bacon. So that is going there. Like so. I think we're going to use it all. This would be very good leftovers too, but I don't think there's going to be anything left over. So that's that. And then some more. But wait, there's more. We have hard-boiled eggs, and we have avocados. So I think I'll do the hard-boiled eggs for now. And I have my little egg slicer here. I'm going to put the eggs in like so. And then cross it over like so. And they come out in little chunks. Oh, Louisa, did you have a question, hon? Did you have a question?
A question about meat. My family is they eat a lot of meat. Could you add meat to this?
For the component in here,
Yes,
instead of our, is our main attraction instead of our surprise ingredient. I think meat would be good. You could do a,
Oh, I have a question.
yeah.
How about with my leftover rotisserie chicken? Could I use some chicken in there?
Yeah, you could do like an Asian style. I'm thinking with the, let's talk about the beef one. I think you could even do like an Asian stir fry. And on the base of this, you could do a rice. Or you could do a Napa cabbage, because it would be an Asian theme. You can dress the salad with, they have a wonderful sesame ginger dressing that would be good, as a base, and then do components of sugar snap peas, water chestnuts, onions. Green onions would be great. You could even do a pineapple in there that you've marinated in the Asian style dressing. And a wonderful addition too. Yeah, steak. You could do a skirt steak. And what I like is you can buy these toppings, if you will, wonton strips. Have you ever tried those? Those would be fabulous on the top. You can even do an Asian noodle underneath instead of a Napa cabbage or rice. And that would be good too. Karen, what I would do, I'm going to just put a little bit of salt in the eggs, because you do need that for the eggs. And for the chicken, what I would do is probably you could do a Mediterranean with lemon and garlic. Marinate your cooked chicken with lemon and garlic. And on the bottom, you could do couscous. And then all the toppings, like the strips of feta cheese, olives, pepperoncini. That would be a great start. I like the way you guys are thinking. So mix it up, do all different flavors of things that you would like, and make it your own, because this would be great for leftovers or seasonal vegetables any time of the year. So you can see our green beans have got a nice color to them. They're steamy. We're just going to let them set for a minute. We have our eggs here that we've seasoned. Look at how nice that egg slicer works on these eggs. So you have them nice and evenly cut. So we're going to kind of pile these up on one side, like so. Can you see the color happening here, all the different components? And I did probably, I think 7 eggs. But whatever is left, I'm going to leave on the side, and everybody can add their favorites in addition to what we have. So there's our yellow. And then on the other side, guess what other yellow we have here is the corn. So we're going to add that in over on this side.
You could even do Southwestern with Hamburg.
I like the way you guys are thinking.
I know. And you
Yeah.
can crunch up some tortillas and add
Yep.
the corn with the black olives, and
Yep. How about beans?
you could do black beans or
Yeah.
garbanzo beans would be good
Yep.
too.
Yeah, you cook a
toast
lot.
them, and
Yep.
You could go a little bit like that and put some sour cream on the side.
Yep. And guacamole. You could still do
Guacamole.
avocado, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Now, your family would eat that too, Louisa, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yep. And then, yeah, the colors.
Really nice.
Wow.
Can't wait to see it all done.
I know, me too. I hope this is good.
Now you're doing your avocado.
Yep. And you got to really luck out on your avocados that they're, you know, nice and ripe when you buy them, because there's not much you can do once they are past their prime. But we're going to slice these down the middle like so, and then just scoop them out. Careful not to pierce the bottom.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
How do you know an avocado's past its prime? Do you buy the soft one? Do you buy the real hard ones? Or
I like the ones in the bag, and I'll tell you why, because they all seem to ripen at the same time. So I have,
Noticed that.
yeah, and I have more control over when they're going to ripen. So, and they're a little bit smaller, but a little more flexible on when they ripen. I don't think, and I might be wrong, I've tried the old trick where, you know, if you want something to ripen, you put it with an apple in a bag. It doesn't work with the avocados. It just,
think so.
no, it doesn't. When they're ripe, and you have like a 2-day window.
I try
So-
to find some supermarkets I have better luck with than others when getting avocados that are fresh.
Yeah.
Not really at the hard stage, so you can purchase them
Use them right away.
right away.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, but for the most part, too, you kind of have to plan ahead. I was also told, too, when this little stem comes off, they're ripe. So I find that to be true in a lot of cases. So that's kind of a good measuring tool too, yeah. It's hard to find ripe fruits and vegetables. Like, did you know pineapples don't ripen once they're picked? So you don't ever buy a pineapple and wait for it to ripen because it just doesn't. And in general, for fruits, I find that if it smells like a cantaloupe, then it's ripe.
Right.
Or your peaches should smell like a fresh peach. Yeah.
I
And so
think the
then,
darker green pineapples are the freshest. The ones that the darker color.
really?
Of course, you can also smell too. So.
Yeah, to see if they smell like a pineapple. Especially melons, too. In this time of year, the melons are so good. You fill of them while they're here. So I think I'm going to use 2 avocados in here. And these shells are nice, too. If you make a seafood salad, you can stuff your avocado shells, too, which are nice.
Good.
Again, a little...
Break mine.
Yeah. So we're going to take in my trusty juicer, and you put it cut side down like this, and it has holes in the bottom so the seeds don't come through, but there's no seeds in lime, but this is great for lemons. There we go. Probably half a lime is good. And we'll toss that. Wow, this is looking good. And you can see why you'd want to assemble some of these things like at the last minute. So we're going to overlap this on this side. And guess what's going on the other side? Green beans. Good, guys. You're going to do good on the test. So far, is there anything in here that would inspire you to try this? Would you think your family would do this?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine if you showed up and they said, oh, bring a salad.
Great to
And you bring this?
party
Yeah.
or a cookout.
Yep. And I try and do the beans all going in the same direction because that's the way it should be. These don't look too bad. I think it looks healthy almost.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always eyeball it if you have anything left. It's no big deal. You can never have too many veggies. Okay, and let me hold this up. That's so far, but we still have the star. What do you think?
Looks beautiful.
You guys are good.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, hold that shot right there, and I'm coming back. I want to clear the deck so you can see this. And I'm going to put it in the bowl for you so you can see what we have over here. Excuse my back for a minute. Because I did this, being New England, you want to have this seasonal favorite from New England, which is lobster. Let's hear it for the lobster who gave up his life.
Yes.
Lobster salad.
Yep.
Oh, what a treat.
And I only do this for my friends.
Or you could do crab.
Crab would be
Or
good.
shrimps on the top.
Shrimp?
Too, around the,
Gosh, you had your Wheaties
around
this
the
morning.
edges, you could do some shrimp.
Shrimp hanging over the side of the bowl. I love it. All along the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Shrimp.
And lobster.
Yeah.
And because it's lobster and there's butter to be had, I tossed a little bit of
The
butter.
lobster cold or warm, or you could do both.
I do it hours before and let it chill because I don't want to wilt the integrity of the rest of the salad. And this goes right over the top
Oh my
Now
goodness.
that's a decadent salad.
like it belongs there. This is luxury, guys. We're eating good in the neighborhood. This just says summer in New England to me. Imagine this on the 4th of July. I mean, really. Oh my gosh, did I miss any spots?
Holy moly.
So here is our special lobster Cobb salad. Yum.
Lovely.
That's good eats tonight. And then when we come back, I'm going to be serving our dessert, which is also summer in New England. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Time for dessert. We've got our lobster Cobb salad standing by. And while we're serving this up, I'm going to tell you some different ways that we're going. First of all, I'll mention that we're doing a fruit compote on top of angel food cake. And the secret, I think, to doing something simple like this and seasonal is to have beautiful serving dishes and a thoughtful presentation. So we've used a boxed angel food cake mix, and I baked it in various shapes. But you can also buy an angel food cake, slice it in half, and cut out different sections, which is what I did. I baked an angel food cake in a square pan, and I just used a round cutter like so and cut out the different shapes. And that's what we have for this cake. Now this one we got a little fancier, and I did a mini bundt cake. And the reason I did that is because this was so darn cute, I had to try it. So it's a mimicking the full-size angel food cake. And they cook up very quickly, and it's just a fun thing to do. And you can see it's just a little miniature version, and that's what we've done on this cake here. And then we got fancier still, and I used my Voltrumpia bread tube, which gives a shape such as this, and it has a top and a bottom, and you bake it like so, and angel food cake rises almost double the size. So you fill it halfway and you put the cover on, and I always put 2 to 3 cupcake papers on the bottom here so it makes a nice tight seal, and you bake it, and look at what happens when it comes out. You have this incredible, I think, log, and we've sliced it, and you get these beautiful little flower shapes. So I'm going to put that there in here. And you get several of these. And there's 3 different looks that you have. But don't be afraid just to bake everything in a square pan and cut it, or buy yourself an angel food form and cut them out with just a round cutter. And then we have my favorite, summer berries. I mean, what's not to love about raspberries and blueberries? And you could put sugar in them if you'd like. Maybe we'll sweeten them up just a tad, but you don't need much. So let's just put a little sprinkle of sugar on the top to bring out the flavors. And then I'm all about the tools. We're using a little corer to core off the top of the strawberries. And I love these because you can actually, we've done this before on the show, you can scoop out the strawberries and put a cheesecake filling inside and bake them or instant pudding. But we're just going to hull the strawberries and add those to our berry bowl. And you can do any kind of berry that you'd like. You could do all strawberries if you'd like, or all one fruit. Nectarines or peaches. Would you guys use that too? Yeah, in the summer because they're so fresh. And then my egg slicer that I double duty for strawberries too. You put them in point side up like so, and then just slice them. And when you put the next one in, they all come out. This is great when you're doing fruit tarts because you have all the same thickness of your berries. So you can use it for more than eggs too. I use kiwi for this too. It does a great job. The strawberries have been so good this year, all of the berries. So we have our fruit bowl, and we're just going to blend them all together like so. And I'm going to take one of our dishes, And I like doing the sugar at the last minute because it kind of crystallizes it. It looks so pretty and like a sugar glaze. It kind of sparkles. And so we're going to do that one. And this one. Something so luxurious about summer berries. Nothing says summer like berries. Put that there. And then our last one. This is something you could bring to a picnic or a barbecue and just assemble it at the last minute. It's so light. So put that there. And then I'm just going to top one here. We have some beautiful raspberry sorbet. And let's do a lemon on this one. Oh, I got a little raspberry on that. And then on the side, because I love this, I have one of my new favorites is a toasted coconut vanilla yogurt. And we're not putting whipped cream, but just for a little contrast on the side, I'm putting a little dollop over here with some beautiful, fragrant chocolate mint. And if you haven't had the experience of chocolate mint from a garden, it is incredible. So you can put whatever you'd like for different toppings on your different fruits. I'm going to add another raspberry one there. And you can serve this to your guests just like this. Or you could set it up as a buffet. You could grate a little lime zest on the top if you wanted to, but I think the berries just speak for themselves. Be creative. You could do a pound cake with this and also do the different shapes. Buy a pound cake, use cookie cutters. They come in so many different shapes and varieties. So, select your dishes carefully and with thought, and it just makes the dish a crowd pleaser. I think anybody would love these. Okay, so we're going to come back with one more item. We'll be right back. Welcome back. What would a fabulous meal be without a nice summer dessert? So I have here, this is my new favorite, a sparkling lemonade. And it just says summer to me. So I'm going to take some ice cubes that I've put with some lime mint and ginger mint and a slice of lime. For those of you who don't cook, this is not cooking, it's freezing. So you put that in your freezer, and you can make a bunch of these at the end of the summer and have them. They're so good in just regular lemonade. So put quite a few in there. And then I love ginger, and you don't even have to peel it. I'm just taking a nice healthy slice of ginger. And of course, some lime. In addition to the lime that's already in the frozen ice cubes. And then we're going to pour some sparkling lemonade over the top. And you have a wonderful summer drink for our summer menu with our fabulous, I hope I get applause for this, our Cobb salad. There you go. Look at this. I think that's pretty nice. And it's a great way to stretch out lobster. Here in New England, it's always wonderful to say, I am so sick of lobster. I have it all the time. And that's what we're doing here. And the leftovers are just as good. We have our wonderful fruit cobbler, which is not baked, but it's fresh fruit with our strawberries and raspberries and blueberries. Sorbet that's raspberry and lemon sorbet with a little bit of toasted coconut vanilla yogurt and, of course, our chocolate mint. So I hope you try these recipes. Be sure to email me if you have any questions, suggestions. I'd be happy to send you some responses to that, and I thank you all for sending them in. Thank you to my guests for being here tonight, And thank you all for watching. I hope you try these wonderful recipes, and may the fork be with you.